Have you ever put together furniture or tightened something on your bike and noticed a screw with a weird six-sided hole in the top? That special screw needs a special tool called a hex key, and some people call it an Allen wrench. Today we're going to discover why hex keys have 6 sides and how that shape grips screws super tight without slipping. We'll explore where you find these cool screws hiding in your everyday stuff, like bikes, skateboards, and toys. Plus, we'll figure out how the L shape of a hex key gives you extra power and lets you reach into tricky, tight spaces. By the end, you'll be a hex key hero who knows exactly why this simple tool is so amazing. Welcome to Goalie's Pip Academy. All right, let's start by looking at what a hex key actually is. A hex key is a small metal tool shaped like the letter L. One end is short and one end is long. The whole thing is made of really strong steel, and here's the coolest part. It has 6 flat sides all the way around. If you look at it from the end, it looks like a hexagon. That's a fancy word for a shape with 6 sides. Hex actually means 6. So a hex key is a 6-sided key. Pretty smart name, right? Now, you might be wondering, why 6 sides? Why not make it round like a pencil or square like a box? Well, that's where the magic happens. What if your tool was square with 4 sides? 4 flat sides would give you some grip. But here's the thing. With only 4 sides, each corner has to do a lot of work. If you push really hard, those corners might round off or break. Not good. But 6 sides, now we're talking. With 6 sides, you get way more points of contact. That means the hex key touches the walls of the screw hole in 6 different places all at once. Think of it like this. If you're trying to hold on to something slippery, would you rather use 2 fingers or all 5 fingers? More fingers means a stronger grip, right? Same idea with the hex key. 6 sides means 6 points of grip, and that makes it super strong and almost impossible to slip. Plus, when you have 6 sides instead of 4, each individual side doesn't have to work as hard. The force gets spread out between more surfaces. That means the hex key is less likely to wear down or strip out the screw. Engineers who design tools figured this out a long time ago, and that's why hex keys are so popular. Time for our first quiz. Multiple choice question. How many sides does a hex key have? A, 4 sides, B, 6 sides, C, 8 sides, or D, 10 sides? Think about it. Remember, hex means 6, and we talked about how 6 sides give you the perfect grip. The answer is B, 6 sides. The hex key has 6 flat sides that grip the screw super tight. Great job if you got that right.
Hey, you're watching Goalie's Pip Academy, where we teach about science, geography, history, everything about the whole world. If you want to watch these classes with no ads, no distractions, go to getgoalie.com.
Now let's go on a treasure hunt. Where can you find hex key screws hiding in your everyday life? You might be surprised at just how many things use these special 6-sided screws. Let's start with bikes. If you have a bike at home, go take a look at it sometime. You'll probably find hex key screws holding on the handlebars, the seat, and the brakes. Bike makers love hex key screws because they're strong, they don't stick out very far, and they're really hard to accidentally loosen. When you're riding your bike fast and bouncing over bumps, you want screws that stay tight, right? How about skateboards? Yep, hex key screws are all over skateboards too. They hold the trucks to the deck. Those are the metal parts underneath that hold the wheels. Skateboarders need to adjust their trucks all the time to change how their board turns, and hex keys make that super easy. A lot of skateboarders carry a little hex key tool in their pocket, just in case they need to make adjustments at the skate park. Furniture is another huge place where you'll find hex keys. Have you ever helped a grown-up put together a bookshelf, a desk, or a bed frame? A lot of that furniture comes in flat boxes with instructions. And guess what tool you usually need? A hex key. Sometimes they even include a free hex key right in the box. The hex key fits perfectly inside and tightens everything up nice and strong. Toys with moving parts often use hex key screws too. Some remote control cars, robots, and building sets use them. Why? Because hex key screws are small and strong, and they don't stick out where they might poke you or catch on something. You can even find hex key screws on electronics like game controllers. Some electronics use really tiny hex keys, like the size of a toothpick. These are called micro hex keys, and they're perfect for small, delicate work. Door handles and faucets in your house might have hex key screws too. Next time you're washing your hands, look closely at the base of the faucet handle. See a tiny hole? That might be where a hex key goes to tighten or remove the handle. Time for our second quiz. True or false? You can find hex key screws on bikes, skateboards, and furniture. Think about all the places we just talked about. Are hex key screws common in those everyday items? The answer is true. You can absolutely find hex key screws on bikes, skateboards, and furniture, plus tons of other stuff too. Excellent. Now let's talk about something really interesting, the L shape. If you look at a hex key, it's not straight like a pencil. It's bent into an L shape, with one short end and one long end. Why in the world would they make it that shape? Turns out there are some really smart reasons. First, let's talk about leverage. That's a fancy word, but it just means using a longer handle to get more turning power. When you use the long end of the L as your handle, you get way more turning power than if the tool was short. You can grip it better, you can push harder, and you can generate more force to turn that stubborn screw. Sometimes screws get really tight, especially if they've been in place for a long time. That long handle gives you the muscle you need to loosen them up. But wait, there's more. Sometimes you need to use the short end of the L as your handle instead. Why would you do that? Well, imagine you're working in a really tight space. Maybe you're trying to tighten a screw that's deep inside something, or maybe there's not much room to swing your hand around. That's when the short end becomes your hero. You can stick the long end into the screw and use the short end to turn it. You won't get as much power, but you can reach into places where a long tool just won't fit. It's like having two tools in one. Need power? Use the long end as your handle. Need to reach into a tight spot? Flip it around and use the short end. The L shape makes hex keys super versatile. Time for our last quiz. What does the L shape of a hex key help you do? A. Make it look pretty. B. Hang it on a wall. C. Get extra power and reach tight spaces. Or D. Use it as a ruler. Think about everything we just learned about that clever L shape. The answer is C. Get extra power and reach tight spaces. The L shape is all about making the hex key work better for different jobs. Awesome work! You now know why hex keys have 6 magical sides that grip super tight without slipping. You know where to spot hex key screws hiding in your bikes, furniture, skateboards, toys, and all kinds of everyday stuff. And you understand how the clever L shape gives you extra power when you need it and lets you reach into tight spaces when you have to. Next time you see someone working on something with one of these awesome tools, you'll know exactly why the hex key is shaped the way it is. You might even be the one using a hex key to build something cool or fix something that's broken. Thanks for learning with us today. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep discovering how the amazing world of tools works. See you next time!
My mind is blown. Where can I learn more about these videos? Oh yeah, getgoalie.com. There's no ads, there's no junk, just cool stuff for kids and a dedicated tablet. Check it out, getgoalie.com.